Hello. Okay. Oh, it is the next day. I took off some hairs that I seen on them. Just a couple. Now remember yesterday I accidentally used my part A scoop in the paint, which has part B accidentally. And there was still a little bit of part B on there. Well, it did do what I was worried about, but it only did a little bit. It didn't do like all the paint, but it did cure a piece of paint inside because a little bit of the part A hit the part B premix paint. So it's this is why you don't make that mistake, because this is what can happen. But thankfully, it was only this much. It could have been, the whole thing could have been destroyed. So, yeah, that mistake can't be made. So let that be a lesson to you. So, today we're going to do blue on the second face for his third wash. And on this one, now I have talked to some people and they said they don't use green for modeling on their silicone. So we're just going to let the green part of it be for now. I have contacted Chris C, who the paints belong to see if she does. So I've also posted on a silicone Facebook group to see how many use green for modeling on silicone. I do for vinyl. So, but in the meantime, we're just going to let it go and continue to work here. So what we'll do today is we'll go back. I'd like to try some of the creasing. I was supposed to bring up paper in here and I forgot. But I'm going to say we're going to use vintage. Let's try vintage berry for creasing. And we'll use it for the lips. I think, yeah, that looks pretty close to blackberry with a little red in it. So that's what we're going to do. So white scoop for the paint, not black. White scoop. Okay. White scoop. Let me put it down this way so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so let's get this vintage berry. So today we're just going to work on some creasing and little detailing on the eyelids and whatnot, okay? So we're going to start there. So this is my new stick, right? All right, so we'll put that in there. I haven't done any form of creasing yet, so this should be interesting. Okay, we're going to close this and get our part A. Okay, so and what color are we going to use for part A? If you said black, you are correct. Black. Part A, black. Okay. Use the opposite side of the stick. Or no, use another stick, because that's going to be hard to mix it that way. because it could drip down. So we use another stick. Do not scoop this out with the same stick you use that has part B mixed in it, or you're going to ruin it. As you saw that little piece, I got lucky because this stuff is really expensive. Okay, we're going to take these 2 sticks as we usually do. And I still got to post that yesterday's video because my phone was really loaded up, so I couldn't, so I didn't have enough memory to. So I took a lot of stuff off today so I can get this done tonight. Because it always makes a second copy when I upload. So that's why it said, no, not for you. Because I not only put these videos on YouTube, I put them on Facebook. My Facebook page. I don't put them on my Instagram because there's not enough. It still looks a little bit thick. So 1 squirt of that is like 2 drops. Usually girl said to add 1 drop at a time, but I don't have a dropper. So that's good. That's a good consistency. Get in there so we don't waste it. Okay. So they gave me some brushes that I can use for the smaller type of work. Just got to get it out. So here's some other brushes that they sent with the kit. So we're going to use this one. All right. Now we're gonna move it over. Ooh, it looks weird, different color like that. Let me try moving the phone. Okay, is that the first face? All right. Oops, my tripod leg wasn't out. Yeah, that's the first face. Okay. It's near the bright light, so it might look lighter than what it is. Okay, so I'm a little nervous. Let's do the nose here. So this is generally a creasing that I would do on, okay, we're just going to get under the eye here. Now this is something that I would be doing if I was working on vinyl, as I did today on my Easton kit. I did miss some of the purple in here, but it's fine. It's how you learn. So I'm just gonna, these are stuck together. I'm just gonna get in the corner a little bit here. It's hard to do on these because the faces are so small. See, like they are just so tiny. This will be easier on a bigger face to be able to get it on there right and blot it properly. And so I got the flesh tone down, and modeling is getting better. So it's just the modeling I want to work more on, and the detailing. There's not too much to learn on here because the canvas is quite, I'm going to call it a canvas, is small. So the creasing is not as deep. The eyelids, there's not much there. But this is just to give me an idea of how I should. The consistency, how it's attaching itself, and etc., etc. Pardon Toby, he's mad because I am not in the back room, in the living area. I'm in the Silicone studio, which is a room that's only for my silicone work, because my dogs will shed. If I do them where I do the vinyl, they'll shed all over them. Plus that table in there is a lint grabber, so that's not good either. Okay, so now we're going to do the lips. So I could have did this one a little dark, a little thicker, but it's creamy, so I was kind of worried about the consistency. So it's probably better to not go too thick and just repeat these areas as you go along. Because you want it to look real. You don't want it to look painted on. You want it to look realistic. Just doing around the nose. Like I said, it's hard because it's so small. But it's doing what I anticipated it to do, so. It's just not as fine, like it's more translucent. So I might keep it, might go a little thicker with it next time. I don't know. Being a beginner, you'd rather go over it, but I don't want to waste paint either, because this is a waste if I don't use it. Yeah, I'm just not seeing that line around the nose here. I might have to do it a few times. We're gonna, let's try the veining and keep it a little thicker and see how that works. That works better. I'm just gonna put some of this down to clean the brush off. So let's see if we kept it a little thicker. Then if we need to add, if it's not going on nicely, we can always add some more paint there. So I'm gonna turn around this way. Okay, so veining. I usually use like a teal color for veining, which would be like a blue and green. Let's well, just for the, we're just gonna do the veining in blue, just because Northern Sea, just to see how I need the thickness. So I'm grabbing a white. I need to see what you guys see. So I know that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, I don't like, because I can't see the screen. Okay, so we're going to take a scoop of this Northern Sea. Alright, okay, get I need 2 new sticks, one for the paint, one for the B, so we don't mix it up. So we don't mix it up. So we're going to do this one a little thicker and see how that works. See if that works better. Okay, so for our part A, wait, let me close this. For our part A, we're going to use the black so we don't mix it like I did yesterday. That was a major boo-boo on my part. Sticky. When I first did this, I was like, how am I going to get that out of there? You get used to it. Okay. Now we're going to take these 2 sticks, mix it together. Mix, 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 mix. Mix your silicone. Mix your silicone. Okay, add a little bit thinner in there. Okay, that's definitely too thick. That's not even going to go on. It's going to cure right there. Okay, that was about 2 drops. Whoa. It's so... Okay. Okay, this one is thicker. Ugh, there's hair in it. That is not helpful. Did I get it out? Okay. So I'm just going to use this. Blot it out. Okay, it is thicker. It's creamy. It is a little thicker than the other one. Not a whole lot thicker, but thicker. So I'm just going to dip it in here. They weren't kidding when it was a lot different. Putting lines. Next time I'm going to use a much finer brush for the veining. But this color I can see a lot better. So for creasing, I'll have to make it the same consistency as I'm doing this, but a finer brush. Because the silicone does come out wider. So when you do the veins, you want to use a finer brush. But what you can do is, I saw this girl do this on the site. She smoothed it out by just using a wedge and kind of taking some of it off. If it doesn't cure first. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to thin it out. Thin the line a bit. It's so hard because these faces are so small. Okay, I'm liking that side better. Yeah, so you can, if you find that they're too thick, the lines, you can use your sponge and just kind of bring it in. Like, bring that line in so it's thinner. So yeah, it's hard to do veins when I'm just doing half the head, because I'm used to doing veins on the whole head, like not like just up here. So it's kind of weird for me to do it this way, but it's okay. So now I know the consistency that I'm going to need for creasing. So I'm just going to add some more veins over here. There's not a lot of room to work with veining on these faces, so I'm just glad I got the consistency for what I need. Because, you know, I got a lot more confidence for painting silicone. It's just the pulling the hair. It's going to be like the hair sticking. That's going to be the real pain in the butt situation. But whatever I try that's new, before I do it like on a full body or partial silicone, I'm always going to do it on the face first. So then I know, okay, this is what happened. So, I don't know if you guys can see that. That's actually not too bad for my first time. See? Especially when I'm used to... The smallest baby I've ever done is 17 inches. So, this is like way out of my comfort zone. So, I'm actually pretty proud of that. They actually look like veins. The veins are like a little big for a little head, but Considering that I'm not used to this, they'll be perfect for the full silicone I have. It's 20 inches when her legs are pulled out. 20 and a half. Her one knee is bent, but one of her legs stick out. And her head is the same size as Levi by Bonnie Brown and Vinyl. So her head's about a little thicker than his because it's silicone, but the sizing is generally close to the same. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm really picking this up, man. Did you guys hear about that tragedy? I was watching the... You know, I watch Facebook TV more than my actual Bell 5. And I was watching it while I was working on the Easton kit. And oh, I'm going the wrong way. And sadly, there was a shootout at a at where they keep the trains, you know, to get people to work that run in the cities from city to city, kind of like subways, you know. And they said multiple people died. It's just really sad. So the shooter is dead. So I don't know if it was work related, but who else is going to go in that building and just shoot people unless it was like a work related, you know, maybe lost his job. But they don't have any information on it right now. It's under investigation, so they don't actually know why it happened yet. So, as from the last time I saw the news, which was before I came in here. Now, when I first put the veins on, it's too wide. But once I take this sponge, like I saw Caroline Dottie do, it turns into more like a vein. And it's not so thick. Like, that's not my best vein because it's at the side of the head and it's not even a full head. So... But just doing those two areas, I'm more confident with the veining than I was before I tried the veining. So, as my confidence grows, I grow. That piece of hair, I saw that hair fall. I just didn't know where it went. Come on, I know you're there. There, got it. Okay, so where'd that little paintbrush go? Oh, here it is. I'm just putting this into some thinner so I can... I'm going to try use a little bit of red. It's not cured yet, so I'm guessing I can go over it. I've seen Caroline Daughtry do it, so okay, so some of the red did pull down under here into the crease. So I'm pulling it in more. And then I'm going to thin it out a bit. I don't know if that's going to work, if it's going to take it off. The face is so small, you guys. Okay. That's not too bad. Considering it's a very teeny weeny face. And it's hard to see anything. their piece of hair. This is the frustrating part of it all, you guys. Is the hair. Oops. That sticks to it. Okay, so I'm going to do what I did again. And then I'm just going to fan it out. And then I'm just going to thin it out by doing what I did with the veins. I gotta tell you, it sure helps becoming a reborn artist first. I've been creasing and detailing and shading Easton. Great period of the day today. She's a very big baby. She's, well, not very big, but she's 6 months. And had to do a lot of detailing on her, so. But I use powders, which is actually eyeshadow, but in the reborn world we call it powders. So as you can see, the detailing and the shading takes longer than washes and modeling. Because if you want to get the right consistency of it. But I'm happy with that. And then I'm just going to go crease under her chin here, which is kind of hard because the face is flat. I mean, on the faces, you know, you don't need perfection because the face is not gonna, it's just a way to learn your consistencies, to learn your, getting the thickness right, the thinness right, that you're applying it right, that it's curing. So those are the benefits of the faces before you touch an expensive, like even a head costs like, what, 400 in Canadian to practice on. So the faces are good for that. So you learn your basics before you touch something that's more. They also have what do you call them, chest plates that you can learn on, which I thought about doing that if this didn't go well. But this is going actually better than I ever expected it to go, so my confidence is much higher than it was. For some people, they have a harder time getting the consistency right, and that's all right. We all learn. We all learn at our different levels. Okay, so we're going to leave that like that. Oh, I'm going to use the blue just for the shading aspect. Where did that paintbrush go? Okay, so I'm going to put it in thinner. Always clean it in thinner first. And then I'm going to wipe it on my paper towel. Then I'm going to grab some blue. And here I'm going to do shading above the eyebrow line is where you would do shading at. I don't even know where the eyebrow line is because this thing is so small. I'm guessing if it had eyebrows, oh, it would be up here. Okay. So I'm going to do it again. Caroline Dodge, she just kind of went like this. That's what she did. But I definitely want to try it on this before I try it on a more expensive baby. Now, this doesn't have an eyebrow bone, so it's, you got to kind of just guess at your own where it would be. There's a like tiny weeny pattern there where it would be had this been a full head. And I'm just going to blot over that very lightly. So I'm not taking too much off. Let me see that. Yeah, it looks good. And usually they teach us on the vinyls to do like a rim on the nose here. Oops. I went a little too. So we're going to thin that rim down first. I'll let the silicone sit just for a second. And then I'm going to blot that down so it's not like, oh, that looks good. Guys, I'm so proud of myself. That looks good. That's not too bad. See this, pardon me, see the shading above where the eyebrow would be? And then there's the creasing there. And then these are my funky veins because it's not even half a head, okay? It's just a bit of a forehead. So I would do a better job on full head. But hey, that's not bad, eh? For a beginner. Not a beginner of veining, but a big silicone beginner. Okay, I'm really pleased with this. The next step, oh, see, I left part A open. Oh, that's smart. The next step with this particular face, oh good, I was able to bring these veins down still. Okay. My next step with this, just this particular face, is because I don't want to waste a lot of paint, you know, because this paint is really expensive. So what I want to do is tomorrow, after this cures, the first face, we're going to mix the A and the B together, and separately, mind you. We'll put them in the thing separately, and then we're going to mix it together. Then we're going to do a clear pattern over the face. Once we do that, we're going to put the matting powder on, and then fix that all nice, and then we're going to let it cure overnight and see how it did with the powdering. Because I don't want to waste too much of my paint. If I'm understanding, okay, that's how I do this, that's how I do that, that's how I do that, I don't want to keep going and wasting the paint when I'm going to need it for my actual baby and other babies I do. I am going to order another dose of it. I mean another batch of all the same colors and put it on layaway so that when I do run out of these colors, I'll have my backup colors. I just got to find out about the green before Saturday when I do my layaway. We've already been on here for 39 minutes, so so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like leave the other face for now because I want to save this face to do things on it that I want to try before doing it to my actual silicone baby girl. So, you know what? I'm very confident with the washes. I'm more confident now with the modeling. I would like to try a little more modeling on this one before I do it on the full body. And then The creasing, I'm absolutely confident with, and the detailing, I'm confident with. The lips, I'm confident with, because I know I just have to make it a little thicker next time, just a little bit. And the shading, I'm absolutely in the veining, I'm very confident with. So, you know, so I'm probably going to start her next week. I want to get a, you know, a cookie sheet. I want to get one of those, and I'm going to cover it with, she told me to cover it with cling wrap if I'm afraid that the paper towel will take some of the paint off when I flip her over. So I'm going to do that, and so I'm going to pick that up probably Saturday, depending on the weather. And then once I have that, I'm going to look around the house, since they're still not letting us buy things in the store. They're staying up to the 14th of June. So I got to find things around the house that are latex free that I can put the stuff in so it doesn't look messy like this. Because I like my area to look good. If you see my vinyl area, then you'll know what I'm saying. Okay, so thanks for watching. Tomorrow we will see how powdering goes. I'm really excited what this is going to look like after we powder it. Thanks for watching.